Alright, I'm Deathline. I just did PokéPark 2 with Lori. Now I'm going on to the prequel of PokéPark 2, PokéPark Wii Pikachu's Adventure. I'm going to be doing Pika Percent, which is an additional add-on to any percent. It's pretty much the same, but it makes it like 10 times harder for me to actually complete the run in the estimate. But I trusted my skills enough. So we need to pick a we're going to start a new game. We're going to pick this top left one for a reason you'll see later. You can choose from 8 pictures. It does not matter which one you pick. I'm just going to pick... I'm going to close my eyes and just pick one. Okay, we're going with this one. The Hey Guys Pikachu. So from here, we need to go to options and set the text speed to fast. This saves about 4 to 5 minutes-ish. And then password. We actually need to enter in 3 passwords to allow Pikachu to play all the attractions in the game. So first is this. This is the password for balloons. That allows Pikachu to play flying games. Next up, we have the password for the snowboard for the snow game. Snow slide. And then the last one we need is the surfboard. 626. For water for the Aqua Dash. Okay, other than that, timing starts on file select. So I'm going to go ahead and give a countdown, similar to the one I just gave from last run. And yeah. 3, 2, 1, go. So this is the superior PokéPark game, by far. First off, we have like a minute-long cutscene with Pikachu playing with Charmander, Chikorita, and Piplup. And then Mew, for whatever reason. The difference between any percent and Pika percent is that you use Pikachu to play all the attractions in the game. There are 14 attractions. Normally in any percent, you pick the fastest one. But in this one, since Pikachu is the only Pokemon that can play all 14, since he's the main character, we just decided, and by we, I mean me and Pokehero, the main people of PokéPark Wii, decided to make a meme category out of it. It's approximately 50 seconds slower than my any percent world record right now. But you can totally beat the any percent world record while doing Pika percent. It's just really hard. The load times in this game are also pretty brutal, but they're nowhere near as bad as Park 2. So this is Mew. Mew is pretty much going to explain the plot. There's the Sky Pavilion, Sky Prism. Sky Prism broke into pieces. We need to collect those pieces because PokéPark will fall otherwise. Or the Sky Pavilion will fall onto the PokéPark and cause chaos or whatnot. And yeah, that's the end of the story. We just played the game, unlike Park 2. This is Chatot. Chatot's like the guide. This like first 5 minutes or so is the tutorial, so we just kind of have to like go through it. So it says to move with the D-pad. Our main method of movement, bad pun by text, is the dash button, which is just the one button. We're going to use the D-pad for finer movement, and I'll show you what I mean later. There are crates in this game. Like I mentioned earlier, berries are the currency. The route that we use, we need 70 extra berries from crates and miscellaneous items. So that's already 10 right there. Green berries are worth 10, red berries are worth 50, and then golden berries are worth 100. And then also you need to jump around a little bit in the game. It is possible to get a red berry and a golden berry if you're lucky from that crate. So if you get a red berry, you're already 50, and you only need 20 more berries. And then if you get a golden berry, then you literally do not have to collect any other berries, which saves like 5 seconds. But the percentage of getting a golden berry is like not even 10% or something. So now we're playing a skill game. Skill games are how you make friends. in the PokéPark. I actually got good RNG there. This is Chase. Chase is the most popular skill game. It's basically just a game of tag. Chaddock can either go left or right there, and it's about a second faster to go left. But it's just completely RNG whether or not he goes left or right. So a little bit more text mashing through this. This is binary. Just, you know, stuff. Poke, please. It's a bad meme. So text bubbles like this is pretty much how you just progress the story. You never know what to do, just find where the text bubble is and talk to that Pokemon. So along with dashing and jumping, you can also use Thunderbolt, which is bound to the A button, thank God. I just need to walk up just like a step and a half and then just hit the A button. You don't even have to shock Snorlax in the middle, as long as the little epicenter from where it hits the ground is touching Snorlax, it'll affect them. So that's optimal movement. So now we can move on. And then we get stopped by Chaddock once more. He's going to give us the PokéPark pad. Just like the Park 2, this is your journal where you can view stats, info, and other things and save. We're going to view it once here and once more later in the run. Boom, done. Alright. We'll see it see it one more time later. So now we can move on, except we actually can't. For a reason, they insist that you have to have this little tutorial to know how to read signboards that can give you tips and info. But from here, we can move on to the PokéPark. So this first area is known as the Meadow Zone. This is your grasslands area. Pokemon can talk. Did you not see the remake of the movie? Pikachu talks. It's canon. This is the Meadow Zone, your grasslands area of your JRPG. Running up, first we find Chikorita, one of our 3 friends. So Binary tells us to go talk to the Pokemon near signboards so we can play attractions. So, go ahead and talk to Bulbasaur up here. So he's like, you can't play attractions, you can't go other zones, but we're just going to break those rules anyways so you can play it. Lamau. So normally they charge you berries to play attractions, but Bulbasaur won't charge you. So you press yes, you're going to mash plus just so you can skip the instructions, and then you select your Pokemon. From here we only have Pikachu, so this is the first of 14. This is Bulbasaur's Daring Dash, basically just a shake sprint. And yeah, that's it. Ta-da. So when you first play an attraction when you play an attraction for the first time, there's a goal time and a bonus time. The goal time is the time or score you need to beat to get the prism piece, and the bonus time is score is what you need to beat to get a bonus amount of berries, which will get added to your count. That gets explained a little bit later, but so Trico and Mankey, being quote-unquote good Samaritans, say they have to take us to Venusaur now. But for whatever reason, They decided to steal Chikorita instead of us, even though we were the one who played the attraction. So Bulbasaur and Baneri are like, oh, I'm sorry, can you go save her? Because I feel bad now. Okay, what I did right there with the little jump, that's called soft hopping. Um, there, there's a few frames when you come back from a load like that where you can't talk to the Pokemon or signboard or whatever, and you use those frames to jump out of the way. Um, the soft part about that hop is there's a short hop or a soft hop. You can press 2 for longer and you'll do a full hop or a full jump. So before we talk to Turtwig like Trico wants us to, we're actually going to come over here and talk to Munchlax. This is the introduction of fetch quests. This is a really simple one where he just wants an item right in front of him. He wants this big berry, and then that's that. But fetch quests become a little bit more prevalent later in the game. I'll explain it when we get to our first major one. But by friending Munchlax, we get berries, and then other Pokemon will come to the park. By friending Munchlax, we get Tropius. We're not going to friend Tropius, but that is the basis of how we routed the game. And by we, I mean PokéHero in chat. The PokéHero 49 is a fucking legend and pretty much rerouted this entire game from start to finish. And he fixed the god-awful former route that we used to have. From there, I've made some minor additions to things that have been faster, but he's made like the core base of the route. So easily enough, we friended Turtwig. Now Pachirisu and Bonsly will come to the park. We're going to be looking for Pachirisu and Baneri to friend. You need a certain amount of friends, because there are a few friend checkpoints. Baneri's over here. I'm going to do Baneri first. There's a few checkpoints where you need a certain amount of friends. One's 25, one's 50, one's 65, and one is 80. That was sick Baneri RNG, I'm not gonna lie. That's a really rare pattern to get. So by friending Baneri, we get Lotad and Shinx, whom we both friend later. Now I want to look for Pachirisu. Who's right here. So he says his brother and I came to play. That's actually true. There is another Pachirisu. So there can be multiple of the same Pokemon. There's a couple Pachirisus, there's a couple Shinxes, you know. So while there can be the same species of Pokemon, they're actually unique. So that one I talked to has unique text compared to the other one. And sometimes it's faster to talk to one or the other, not that you can tell the difference. So you see him in the background. So now we're going to talk to Bulbasaur once more. So he's explained the bonus, which I already explained. You just need to beat a time or target to get more berries, which we use full advantage of in the route. So this is the only exception to Pika percent where I play as a Pokemon other than Pikachu, just because it's you're required to by the story. So I'm going to play this as Turtwig. And since I'm playing this game for the second time, I have to menu out of it. So I have to remember to not menu, or not just mash play again. So that's that. From here, I can go back to Trico now. Nice RNG right there. That's sick. Okay, Lotad's right here. I'm actually going to friend him now. Hopefully this RNG is good enough. It might not. He might go the wrong direction here. So this is Battle. Battle's another skill game, basically like the mainstay series. just gotta lower their HP and not lower yours. Nice, that was ideal. That was really good. So what I did there was called a quick kill. While you're in a battle or a chase, zone hazards become active. This is like the only zone that has a hazard, which is the river. You can knock... Actually, that's not true. A beach zone has one, but I'll explain that in a little bit. Zones that have water like this, that's considered a zone hazard. And if you knock them into the water, it instantly ends the fight in your favor, since they can't finish or whatever. So we're going to hit that tree, and then we're going to knock out Caterpie and get another berry. This is Mankey. This is another fight. This would be your tutorial fight if you didn't fight Lotad already. So I'm going to do a cool strat here that I found that saves 2 seconds. So you can quick kill Mankey, and that saves 2 seconds over doing it the standard way. We're going to be using a mixture of our dash or quick attack and our Thunderbolt. I get it. So there's a few frames there. It's not frame perfect, I don't think, but you can mash the dash and you'll get a dash, and that saves approximately a second when that Chimchar spawns in. And from here, we can just go left and talk to Krogunk. So Krogunk wants 200 berries, and then he'll give 170 back because we're trying to save our friend. And then he'll tell you can sidestep, which is another mechanic we're going to be using during fights. If you double tap left or right, you can sidestep. And this is how we do combos, which I'll explain when we get to a Pokemon that has a combo. The fight mechanic in this game is a lot better than Park 2. For whatever reason, there's also type effectiveness is a little janky in this game. Sometimes, so, you know, electric doesn't affect ground types, obviously, but there's a Pokemon known as Breloom, who's a grass fighting type, and for whatever reason, you cannot use Thunderbolt on him. It just is ineffective, so it's really odd. And there's a couple cases like that where Pikachu used Thunderbolt on a rock type, and it'll do the standard amount of damage, not like half. So it's really weird. So Venusaur tells us we broke the rules, so we need to go beat his caretakers, Krogunk and Spearow. So Krogunk's right here outside the gate. Simple enough, we're just going to jump in and talk to him. So I would call this a scripted fight, because it's literally scripted. It's the same thing every single time. He will run to the same exact spot every single time. From here, I'm going to just do a dash and then hit him. I'm going to get up really close in his face, and then I'm going to sidestep it as soon as he starts his attack animation. Most Pokemon, when they start their attack animation, they won't change the direction they're facing. So you can just wait for the invincibility frames to wear out, and then you can just immediately dash into them again. So Apom's right here. I'm actually going to friend Apom now. Hopefully he'll go down. He might not. She might not. I think Apoms are all female in this game. We need Apom. Don't. Oh, okay, this might be bad. I don't know how this is going to go. Turn left. Okay. Okay, actually that was pretty good. That was a pretty good pattern. I enjoy that. That was a good pattern. Normally Apom chase goes really poorly. Upon friending Apom, oh, Mankey's mad. Ambipom will join the park as well, whom we're going to friend a little bit later, unless we get insanely good RNG right here. You know what? I'm going to take it. So the reason why I got on this side of Ambipom is because I want to try and knock her into the river to do a quick kill, since Ambipom has 3 HP instead. I'm not going to be able to do it in one hit. I'm going to have to take 2. Which is alright. That's still better than nothing. So now I need to friend Caterpie, who's right there, Trico, and Spearow. So Caterpie is the fastest chase in the game. You can do it in 1 frame, assuming he walks towards you. And upon friending Caterpie, you'll get Butterfree, who we do not care about whatsoever. So now we're going to look for Trico. Right here. Trico can be really annoying. He's like the fastest Pokemon to chase. He's really hard. Alright, that wasn't too bad. That's about average though, 51. You can go really poor though, and you can get like a 49 if you're unlucky, or like a 48. 51's about average though, I would say. So we're gonna run all the way over here in this little section. Sphero's at like the back left. You can see the little text bubble. We're actually not gonna go there. We're just gonna run right into the little construction here, the playground, and then that'll just instantly warp us over here. So this is the third skill game that we play. This is called Obstacle Hop. There's 3 of these in any percent. Just a little obstacle course. You just got to reach the Pokemon. The first one is the easiest. The second one is the middle difficulty, and the third one is definitely the hardest. So I just got to do 3 jumps here and not fail. Nice. You can do that in a 98, but most of the time it's going to be at 97 because you're doing full hops. So now we can go back and talk to Venusaur. What's up, Rom? So once you beat Spearow and Kronk, he'll give back Chikorita, and then he'll be like, "Don't play games." And then Chikorita's like, "Let us play games." And he's like, "How dare you want to play games?" And she's like, "Well, I bet you we could beat you at your game." He's like, "How dare you challenge me to my game? But I'll let you play it anyways, because I can show you that you're bad." So this is, you have to pay 5 berries to play Venusaur's Vine Swing here. So with Pikachu, this can be really difficult actually. I need to get 160 something feet, and Pikachu can only go like 180, or like 190. So I gotta time this perfectly. Nope, I'm gonna retry because I already know that's not gonna work. You have to hit it like the perfect swing. I let go too soon there. That's really unfortunate. Work. There we go. That should work. A little unfortunate that I was a bit slow on that. That's about 30 to 40 seconds. But it's better than losing like a minute if you get the bonus but not the goal. So we get like a minute of just text to mash through. Basically just telling us the next part of the story to go through. The unfortunate part is this would have definitely golded if I did not mess up Vine Swing at all. That's really unfortunate. I feel really sad now. Because that was a 6 segment. That had really good RNG. So now we can just go ahead and leave the meta zone. But before we do, Starly's gonna be like, hey, you can go into first person. We're like, we don't care. Yeah, I lost about 30 seconds from that. That's really unfortunate. So, any percent world record is dead now, by the way. And so is probably Pika percent world record. So this is the meeting place. This is like the central hub area of PokéPark Wii. There's a few vendors that we need to check out before we can move on to the next zone. The first place of importance, though, is Chikorita. She's going to use this giant tree to build a treehouse throughout the course of the game. The first vendor that we're going to look at is Drift Stop. This is the fast travel of the game where you pay berries to move to a different zone. The next vendor is the photo studio, ran by Mr. Viss. The game literally forces you to take a photo, so... And you have to save it. The last spot of interest is this Electabuzz. Electabuzz will power up our Thunderbolt in exchange for berries, and then later there will be other Pokemon who will upgrade our other stats. But we don't want to do that. Talk to Corfish and he'll open the gate to the next zone. Which is the beach zone. This is the only other zone, as far as I can remember, that has a water hazard that you can knock Pokemon into. This is Azeron Slowpoke, and just plot, shaking, PokéPark's dying, plot. Tell us we need to go talk to Lapras if we want to see Empoleon. So here I'm looking for Slowpoke and Azurill. I'm gonna friend Azurill first instead of Slowpoke, because Slowpoke's easier to get. Azurill can spawn like almost anywhere and it's really hard to see. And she's more important than Slowpoke is. Since she unlocks Totodile. This is like a really bad pattern though. Slowpoke's over there. I'm not going to friend him now because that's pretty bad RNG. I'm going to wait until after I come back and hopefully pray for some better RNG. This is the last type of skill gain we get. This is a quiz. There's a number of quizzes in the game. Berries. So there's like 9 or 10 questions each quiz Pokemon can ask you. The answers will always stay the same, but the position that they will be in will be different. So ideally you want questions that are fast with text and then just mash with the answer at the top, but that's not how RNG works, so that was Corsola. So now we're gonna go talk to Feraligatr. So I'm gonna hug the wall here because Park 1 is infinitely better than Park 2 and has loading zones like literally everywhere. So even like all the way over here, I'll get hit with the loading zone to talk to Feraligatr. So he says Lapras is behind that rock, but he'll only break it if you teach Gyarados a lesson, because Gyarados is being a giant D-bag. So we're going to start leaving, and then Piplup will be like, hey, I'm over here with a Wynot who can't swim. Piplup tells us to go find Bidoof in the Meta Zone and ask her for help. So that's our next goal. On the way there, I'm going to be looking for Slowpoke, Starly, and not you, and Totodile. Starly's a chase, and Starly flies, so you'd think it would be really hard to get Starly, but you can actually get Starly out of the air, just like that. This is the only flying Pokemon that you can actually hit out of the air in the chase. Totodile's right over there, so I'm going to get Totodile now instead of later. And then the only other Pokemon I need is Slowpoke. So if Totodile happened to be spawned near the beach, you can totally knock them into the water. But most of the time, they'll spawn right in the middle of the mainland. Turn, Pikachu, thank you. Hello? So from here, we're going to drift them stop to the Meta Zone. This is the only time we actually have to mandatory watch this cutscene. Every other time after that, we can skip this. Which is like a really nice mechanic. Unlike Park 2. So on the way to Bidoof, I'm going to break open this crate right here and then pick up the stack of wood. That's a really good Chimchar RNG. I'm going to ignore it now, though, because it's a little slower to try and get Pokemon when you're carrying items. When you're carrying an item, you cannot dash, you have to walk with the D-pad, and that brings out really slow fetch quests. So Bidoof needs 4 pieces of lumber to build her house for her friends and family. So that's the first one. So the next one is right here. You see the camera randomly jerking from time to time. If you hit the B button, as the game mentioned, it'll align the camera with the direction Pikachu is facing in. So we're gonna friend Shanks, who's way the heck over here. Shanks is the chase that goes by pretty quickly. Break open this box and get this piece of lumber. Pikachu literally has to be facing like exactly towards the item, 90 degrees. If you're like even slightly off, Pikachu will just refuse to pick it up, which is really annoying. So one more piece of lumber. So unfortunately, I did not get good Chimchar RNG after the fact. That's kind of part of the part of It's kind of the point of PokéPark is debating whether the RNG you get the first time is good enough for you, or you want to try and aim for better. And if you aim for better, will you get better, or will you get significantly worse? And it's about choosing what kind of RNGs you're okay with getting, and what you aren't. And sometimes you'll just get abysmal RNG no matter what, so... So upon finishing this long fetch quest, Bidoof will be our friend. She'll give us 100 berries. And B-Barrel, Bidoof's grandmother, will join the park. We're going to talk to Bidoof before we leave, just so we can have her send a friend to the beach zone to help us save Piplup, and why not? So now we're going to friend Chimchar and B-Barrel. Chimchar is right here. Why did Pikachu do a sidestep? That was so odd. I don't know why Pikachu sidestepped there. I like barely tapped the left D-pad. So now we're gonna look for B-Barrel, who's nicely enough over here, which is pretty good RNG. So if you get insanely lucky, you can do a quick kill on B-Barrel here and Chimchar, but it's really lucky, and that happens sometimes where Pikachu is dashing, B-Barrel will try to use Rollout, and whenever you're dashing to a Pokemon who uses like a really long range move, that really messes with their coordinates, and it can go all bad from there. Okay, Butterfree just landed right in front of me. So now we're gonna head back. Before talking to Bidoof, I'm gonna friend Slowpoke. It's a little out of the way, but I prefer to do this now. Well, not even out of the way, it's just I have to go here first. Then get the lumber. Friending Slowpoke will spawn in Mudkip, if you wanted to friend Mudkip or like Bonsai from the Meta Zone, they play a skill game called Hide and Seek. It's just basically hide and seek, like you would know it. Um, they hide, you just gotta find them. The Pokemon will cry out, so if you have your audio up, you can find them that way as well. So I'm just trying to look for them visually. So trying to give Spadoof lumber, Sharpedo and Carvana will tell us we can't build bridges. We'll be like, why not? And like, or Gyarados said so, and we're like, why do we care about Gyarados? And Empoleon is the keeper. Like, well, nope, Gyarados says otherwise. And they're like, well, what are we gonna do? Well, go beat a flying attraction. Even if you can't swim, you can fly, right? Or, since you can't fly, you can't do it, but... ha ha ha, there's an adventure called Balloons. So Pelipper's attraction is way out here in this corner of the map. This is Pelipper's Circle Circuit. So I think I only need 8,000 points, which is pretty easy to get. Oh, I didn't get those rings. That's unfortunate. Don't tell me how Pikachu flies with just balloons. I don't know how it makes sense. Now we can go back to Bidoof. So those little bundle of sticks that we gave Bidoof, she's gonna build this pretty freaking awesome bridge. So we just need to collect 2 more pieces of lumber. So Bidoof's gonna build some freaking awesome bridges out of like just piles of sticks. I don't know how. So now we can go talk to Gyarados. So, Gyarados says one of the checkpoints, you need 25 friends at this point to play the attraction, otherwise he just won't let you play it. But yeah, this is Gyarados' Aqua Dash. Don't ask me how Pikachu is getting motion with just the surfboard and like 0 waves. And from here we can move on to the next zone. Across this conveniently made bridge, we can go back and talk to Feraligatr, who will break the rock for us. We're also going to talk to Feraligatr and friend him. This is an extension of the combo I was talking about. Feraligatr has 4 HP bars, but I'll explain it, as if he had 3. So you can use Thunderbolt, then Quick Attack. When you use Thunderbolt, you do 1 bar of damage, and then when you do Quick Attack on top of that, you do another half bar. If you only do Quick Attack, you'll do 1 bar of damage, and then they'll instantly get invincibility frames. But they won't instantly get invincibility frames if you use Thunderbolt. So by doing the Thunderbolt Quick Attack combo, you can get 1.5 multipliers. And from there, I just did an extra Thunderbolt because of the reach. It's slightly faster than doing a Quick Attack in terms of frames. So Piplup found a balloon, he's all happy, and then we're gonna talk to Lapras and move on to the next zone. This is the only time we have to watch this cutscene, but this is the only time we would ever watch this cutscene. It's sad because if you ride Lapras a second time, they'll become your friend, but we never ride Lapras a second time. So this is the Iceberg Zone. hill slope all the way up to Empoleon. However, Piloswine will tell us that the gate is frozen shut, and Mighty Mamoswine could undo it, but Mamoswine is frozen behind a lake, so we need to go get Mamoswine unfrozen somehow, which is down here. So as I mentioned earlier, there could be multiple of the same Pokemon. There are 3 Teddiursa in this zone. One that's stationary right here by the fence at all times, and then 2 that are dynamic. So the one that's stationary, and then one of the 2 that are dynamic play Quiz. The last one that's dynamic plays Chase, and optimally we want to talk to the one that plays Chase first, but there's no way to tell which one is which. So you just have to hope and pray that you get the right one. Glalie will spawn in after you talk to Teddiursa, and he'll basically want you to collect these 3 ice blocks. So we get the farthest one away first because there's a little bit of a loading zone around Glalie, and this saves 2 seconds getting this farthest one away first in terms of walking. So with the ice block, he somehow builds an igloo and some torches. And giving him 1 ice block will spawn in Primeape, which is a Pokemon we used to friend, but I've now killed out of the route because it's slow. Build a second igloo. Ursaring will come in. It was right there, I could have friended him. Get this last ice block. Talk to Glalie. He'll build the last igloo. From here he'll tell us that Frostlass has been spotted on the other side of the zone, so we need to go see her. Please be the one, please be the one. Yes! Okay, so this is the one I wanted. This one plays Chase. The other one over there, you see that walking around, that one would have played Quiz, and I don't want that. Here we get another one of the mini berries that we need from crates. And then we're going to go over here and talk to Pernflup, who's guarding the chairlift. So, since he has 3 HP bars, we can do the combo twice for an easy win. You can hold A for a really long time, and you'll just keep charging your Thunderbolt until you let go. So you can buffer Thunderbolts, even while jumping around and stuff. So Frostlass is like Ice Ghost type, but you can totally use Quick Attack on her for whatever reason. I really wish my capture card would work properly. That's really annoying. So before we go back, we're gonna friend Quagsire and Auxiliary right there. I'm gonna friend Quagsire first. He just wants a big berry, so we just gotta give this to one of the Quagsires. Get out of the way, Wingle. And from there, we just talk to Auxiliary. And Pokemon in this game will totally use moves from like the games. Like Auxiliary will actually use its signature move, Octazooka. Wow, I just got absolutely bodied by bad RNG. So Quagsire was in the way, and then I used Thunderbolt, and Thunderbolt will auto-lock onto the closest Pokemon, which Wingle just flew right in front of me. So that was just a train of bad events. So I want to be careful here. If you get too close to the tree in the middle, you'll spawn a cutscene, which is like 15 seconds. Okay. So I still need Ursaring, and then I can talk, yeah, I still need Ursaring before I move on, which he is running away, so I'm just going to talk to Frostlass. And get this over with first. So Frostlass will use her Blizzard to freeze the lake. Before we do that, we're going to friend Ursaring and Glalie. So like in Park 2, or well, in Park 1 and Park 2, Pikachu will either run through the Pokemon when dashing, if they're small. If they're like a medium size, he'll bounce off of them, but if they're really big, he'll get stunned. Okay, I did like a really weird buffer there, but... So I have to run away and then do another Thunderbolt buffer in order to hit Ursaring, because he uses Double Edge and you can't quick attack that. The Teddiursa were just completely in the way, so my Thunderbolt was auto-locking to them, but he still just ran into the Thunderbolt, which is okay. From here we're going to talk to Glalie and then fight him. Which is just a simple combo. So from here we need to go free Mammal Swine now so he can break down the door. Don't ask how this works, but apparently breaking a Pokemon out of a block of ice will just immediately thaw them out in seconds. And then they'll immediately awaken from their deep slumber too. Like, as if they just were already alive. Like they could have been dead too, just from the cold cells. However, this is a children's game, so as such, children's logic. However, there is a good line from Mammal Sign coming up right now, where I'll mention it as he's saying it. Shouldn't I be angry at him for freezing me? If only life were so simple. Things are not so black and white. He and I just believe in different things. That's the way the world is. Or that's the way the things are. That's a really good quote to teach children, in my opinion. That's why I really like Park. Not only just because it's a great game, but it also teaches great values. So this is Empoleon's snow slide. Normally we use Glalie for this, but since this is Pika percent, we're gonna go with Pika. So I need to beat a 55. This game's like a lot like drifting, like the Aqua Dash game, so the motion controls can be a little jank. Especially when you're trying to like go as fast as possible. That was actually almost better than my normal gold. If I was playing with Glalie, that would have beat my normal gold. So Empoleon is now our friend. We can move on to Blaziken. We're gonna go back to the meeting place first. That was a really good iceberg zone. That was a really solid iceberg zone. That was probably the best I've ever had in like a long time. Right out of the gate, we're gonna friend Piloswine, and I can show off some weird mechanics with how map layout works. So, Piloswine is part ground type, so you can't use Thunderbolt, so you're going to have to use Quick Attack. And then they'll use Takedown, so you just have to wait it out. But if you actually run past this gate, Piloswine can't attack past here. So you're in here, it'll freak out and not know what to do. And like, if it tries to attack you, it'll just get stuck at the gate because there's an invisible wall there, but not for you. And then when you're standing in the out-of-bounds zone, when they're coming out of their invisibility frames, they just like freak out. They don't know what to do since they're like they can't hit you. So they just run around, and then you can just easily attack them and save a bunch of time that way. So this is the progress Chikorita has made so far. It's 2 levels now. Piplup talks about the balloon. So remember how I mentioned there will be other Pokemon. Ponyta will help you raise your dash speed. Bibarel will raise your HP, and Primeape over there in the corner will teach you Iron Tail and help you raise that. And it's funny because part of the text is like, I'm gonna teach you Iron Tail. What? How do I know Iron Tail without a tail? I was like, I can teach a Pokemon like you even though I don't have a tail. So that's really funny. We're gonna actually upgrade our dash twice now. And we're gonna be able to move a lot faster. So now we can move on towards the Cavern Zone, which is the next area in the game. Just gotta talk to the Cranidos to open up the gate. So this is the Cavern Zone. So Mr. Ryan, one of the caretakers, will be like, I'm so screwed because we're missing a rail and a minecart, so we need both of them. Go find them. He tells you to ask Zubat as they're good with gossip, but you literally do not need to talk to Zubat at all. Come down the right-hand path and Mawile will be in the way and she'll be like, oh, you're not even staying here for the Cavern Zone. Of course not. No one likes it anymore. Feels bad, man. Anyways, you can totally just move on with your life and then go talk to Aeron way out there in the corner. Screw you, Zubat. Aeron would be like, I want some iron ore because I'm hungry, and then you just gotta break open the box that's like right next to him. And then give him the iron ore. Pretty good Aeron RNG. Pretty good Mawile RNG though. So Aeron will tell you that Mawile is the one who took a chomp off the rail. And okay, that could have been worse RNG, I guess, but I'm gonna jump on the other side of her. She can literally spawn like anywhere in this corner back here, and it's really sucky. This is the worst chase in the game, because you have to hit the body of Mawile, not the jaws on the back. And Pikachu likes to auto. There are two separate hitboxes, and Pikachu likes to auto onto the jaws. So you have to kind of like go wide. That was actually a really good chase. I'm really happy about that. But sometimes you'll just get screwed going around a corner, and you'll auto lock into the jaws, and then you'll get knocked away. So she says, go out to Dugtrio, because he's the one who hit it. So if we go talk to Dugtrio, who's right over here. He says he hid it in a crate in the berry storage watched by Marowak. So that's our next spot. Along the way there, we're going to break open this box, and then that spawns in Magnemite. Now we need Magnemite and Cranidos. I'm going to go ahead and friend this Cranidos right here. Pure rock type, but you can totally use Thunderbolt on him for whatever reason. And then we need to talk to Magnemite to friend them. Just right over there in the corner. So now we can go talk to Marowak, who runs the berry storage. It's way over there. Marowak is ground type, so you can't use Thunderbolt, so this is just a really slow fight with using Quick Attack. You can kind of bait him, though, to hit this box, and that'll stop his animation. Which can make it go a little bit faster. Or you can bait out a long-range attack, which is Bone Meringue, and you can just jump over it. Hold on, gotta open this crate first. Okay. Basically, we just hit a crate, and that spawns in Diglett, and Diglett's like, oh, I hit it. I moved it and I hit it. It's under the sleeping Snorlax. So, we're gonna get a berry, and then we're gonna pick up this big berry. And we're gonna take this to Snorlax. Talk to Snorlax, he's like, I'll get up, don't hit me with your Thunderbolt, but he's not going to get up, so toss the berry, hit him with the Thunderbolt. He'll be like, oh, okay, maybe I will get up now if you give me a big berry. So that's why we brought this along with us. And now he'll move. And that unlocks the hot spring and the rail, of course. Upon doing so, Phanpy and Raichu will come to the PokéPark to play. We're going to pick up the rail. We got to take this all the way back to Mr. Mime, so this is one of the longer fetch quests in the game. Along the way there, we're going to check this Drifblim stop to spawn in Drifblim. So yeah, we just gotta walk this all the way through. Give this back to Mr. Mime. So he'll put the rail back, and now we just need to go get the minecart, which is conveniently down here with Kibble. Kibble is ground dragon, so you cannot use Thunderbolt, so you have to suck it up and use Quick Attack, which isn't too bad. Gibble will use Dragon Breath, but you can just easily sidestep out of the way. So we could move on to the next zone, but we actually have some things to finish up in the cavern zone. We need to friend 4 Pokemon and then play an attraction. This is one of the Pokemon right here, Torchic, who is a battle. Raichu's like kinda in the way. Okay. Simple enough. From here we need to talk to Driftblim. Talking to Driftblim, they'll give us a discount rate and be our friend. And this is totally routed in by Pokehero, which is one of the sickest route ideas ever. Talking to the quick travel to friend them, and then just not use them. And then, oh no, Raichu just ran away. That's really bad RNG. Talk to Diglett, and Diglett will be our friend. Unfortunately, Raichu just ran away, so I have to run all the way after him now. My lord, what are you doing? So this is a perfect example that I haven't been able to touch on yet. Pokemon can interact with one another outside of you. So NPCs, such as Raichu and Teddiursa, can totally play chase, or they can just talk to each other or whatnot. Pokemon also can display emotions, such as joy, anger, or sadness. Displaying joy, the text boxes will be specialized into like a happy text, and you'll get significantly less text boxes. Anger, they won't play with you, and most of them will try to attack you. And then sadness, they just won't play with you. So that was unfortunately really awful RNG. That can happen from time to time. There's nothing you can do about it. From here we go to Bastiodon to play Bastiodon's Block Barrage. So ideally, you want to hit the same board every single time. A normal shot is worth 100, a power shot is worth 200. So you just want to hit and just keep racking up points if you can. Unfortunately, I'm not doing a very good job of this. It's really hard to direct where the ball goes sometimes. It's not perfectly matched with your movement. Or where you hit it according to your body. Like that, it'll just fucking go left even though I want it to go right. And there's nothing I can do about that. Oh my god, this is one of the worst block barrages ever. Okay, I got my double. Damn, that really sucks. So now we can move on, I guess, even though that was an unfortunately really bad segment. Just due to freaking Raichu running away. Before we leave, though, we're going to talk to Dugtrio and friend him. By the way, you need 50 friends when you play Bastiodon's Block Barrage, and we have exactly 50 when doing that, so that's why we got all those 4 Pokemon first. Hello? Let me check this. So now we're going to move on to the Lava Zone, which is really annoying. So when first coming in, you'll be introduced to Hitmontop, and you'll be like, blah blah blah, drill, it's overheated, go talk to Camerupt. So we gotta go to talk to Camerupt now. Camerupt is part ground type, so you just have to use Thunderbolt, or not Thunderbolt, Quick Attack. Another reason why we use Sidestep is to buffer out the invincibility frames like that. Because if you just kept mashing, you wouldn't hit them properly. Apparently we're known as Lightning Strike in the Lava Zone, so... Behind Camerupt is a furnace where you can put in iron ore and gold nuggets to make shapes and stuff. Get out of the way, Magby. So now we can go ask him on top if we can use a drill. Before that, we're going to friend Magby up here instead of down there. The Magby down there play chase, or they battle you. The Magby up here will play chase. Oh, I got the worst one. One of these guys will give you like 1 text box, and the other one will give you like 1,500. It's really bad. So you have to battle him on top before you can use the drill. So this is kind of an annoying fight if you don't know how to go about it, but you basically just want to walk forward a little bit and then hit the Thunderbolt. He'll run into it, and then you can hit him, and then you have to walk like all the way back here and then like reset with Thunderbolt. Because invincibility frames. And him on top is really annoying because he won't even friend you until you give him a gold top, which is not required in 80%. So he doesn't count to our friend list. Also, beating him will spawn in Hitmonchan. But here, just turn around. Pray for gold, no gold nuggets. Gold nugget bliss, gold nugget bliss, gold nugget bliss. No gold nuggets, please. Okay. So there are 2 things you can get from this drill. Iron ore or a gold nugget. Nobody knows what the actual ratio is. I'd say about every 1 in 5 drill usages is a gold nugget. You don't need any of those in any percent. You need 2 pieces of iron ore. So if you get a gold nugget, you lose around 25 seconds per each one, which is really unfortunate. So basically Torkoal is just saying, hey, we're going to be a bunch of D-bags and block the way in order to quote-unquote train you. So now there would be a bunch of Torkoal littered around here. Most of the time they'll leave you alone, but they can get like really angry, and then they will try to attack you, which can lead to some time loss if they do attack you. Also, shoutouts to the freaking invisible wall right here. It's one of the worst coded walls ever. Jets out so far into the walking field. So we're going to walk this all the way down to the furnace, and we're going to make a straight shape. There's going to be a little bit of a cutscene here where we'll spawn back in. There is a dash frame here. Let's see if I can hit it. Yeah. There's a few frames there where you can hit the 1 and dash when Golem is spawning in, and that saves like a second. So we're going to inspect this switch with the broken lever. We're going to come over here and then get our iron bar that we just made and put it into the switch, which will fix it and turn it into an iron lever. And then we can hit the switch, and this will turn off the fire spouts blocking us from progressing. So now we need 1 more iron ore. On the way back, though, we're going to talk to Golem and friend them. Golem will give you berries in exchange for iron ore, gold nuggets, things made out of those 2. So he's useful for casual grinding, if you have the time to be that patient. Hit the switch 1 more time. Pray for the the good Lord above that we do not get a gold nugget. Thank you. No gold nuggets. So we're going to walk this down to the furnace. And gold nuggets can really suck. Like, my highest score right now is currently 3 gold nuggets in a row, which lost like over a minute, which is really unfortunate. So we're gonna make a round shape with this one, which will make an iron top for the next attraction that we're going to be playing. So we gotta take this all the way over there to Rhyperior. Now, I want you to look at how this ramp works right here with all this stone. Beautiful, 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 beautiful hit detection versus modeling. So you have to take an iron top to Rhyperior to play Rhyperior's bumper burn. Need 5,000 points. It's pretty much just Beyblade. Just knock Pokemon out without getting knocked out yourself. The more Pokemon you knock out consecutively, the higher your multiplier will be. The more times you hit a Pokemon, the farther you'll go, and if you get knocked out, you lose your multiplier. So I'm actually really scared right now, because this is going to go really bad, and I'm not getting a lot of points right now. Oh, no, 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 no. Not like this. Not like this. Not like this, please. No, not like this, dude. Okay, this game can either go really well, or it can be really scary. Like, if you're just really unlucky, because these little orbs will give you a power-up, but Pikachu's power-up is just a standard, like, spinny, which will give you no knockback, but you'll just get stuck in place, and you'll just get bumpered around, like, right in the middle of the arena, and you won't knock out any Pokemon. Now I have to be careful here because I can get stuck on a corner. Okay, I dodged it. So here's our last friend, Charmander. Finally found him. He's going to challenge us to a battle. He says he almost fell into bubbling lava, but Blaziken saved his life. That's bullshit because this is not lava, this is magma. Use your terminology correctly. So just quick attack, get up real close to him. I went too fast. If you're really good with the timing there, you can dash into him on the first frame before he even spits out his flamethrower. But if you're too fast, you'll bump into his the last few invisibility frames, and then you'll clip through his body and hit the flamethrower, which is really weird. So running up this ramp towards Blaziken, we're gonna get stopped by a Metatite who will make us play a quiz. That's that. We're gonna friend Ponyta right here. Who hopefully won't run this direction. So this is the second worst chase, only after Mawile, because Ponyta will is a pretty fast runner, but she'll leave behind Ember Trails, and you'll get hit. And you cannot change the camera view when you're in a skill game like this. It's literally stuck to the opposing Pokemon. It's such a dumb mechanic. It's so unfortunate. So sometimes you will just run into the Ember Trails just because you cannot avoid them. And it's just really sucky. But other than that, we're going to go ahead and break open these two crates right here and then move on. Talk to Farfetch'd. He'll be all like, you can't beat me. But it's really easy to defeat Farfetch'd. So hit the switch and this will drop down the drawbridge. Go across and talk to Macargo. He will check that you've completed Pasodon's Block Barrage and Rhyperior's Bumper Burn, which we have done both. From here, he will be our friend and let us through to the gate. So before Blaziken will fight us, he'll make us re-challenge Charmander, who now has 4 HP bars, which is not too much of a deal. So just dash into him and then do 2 standard combos. Now we can finally take on Blaziken in Blaziken's Boulder Bash. So either you smash the rock or you just kind of damage the rock. If you smash it, you get 300. If you damage it, you get 100. Each rock you hit in succession will get you a multiplier. Gosh damn it, that was almost perfect. Except for that last one. So remember how I said at the beginning of the run we're going to see the park pad one more time? This is it, coming up. Back in November 2016, the Pokemon Speedruns community, also known as PSR, made a giant vote, and we voted to move over from IGT to RTA, which is in-game time to real-time attack. Along with that, single segment is not an issue anymore, so we can do save plus quit strats. And this is the reason why we started in the top left slot, just so I can mash through without having to menu. This save plus quit saves about 6 seconds. So we see the progress once more, another level added to the treehouse. All 4 of us are back together again in the PokéPark. Piplup is trying to fix the balloon, and he'll even fire it up right now. And of course we get this back shot, we're all happy it's working, and like, oh wait, you idiot, there's a giant hole in the side of Pikachu's head. Feels bad. And for whatever reason, an hour 37 minutes into the run, chat out will be like, hey, Mew said go get the prison pieces and save the Sky Pavilion. And you're like, it wasn't a dream? We haven't been spending the past an hour and a half plus getting 8 prison pieces for nothing? And then we're like, okay, we need to learn more. And then Mr. Biss is like, go to the Haunted Zone and talk to Miss Magius. So if you friend Ponyta in the Lava Zone like we did, you'll get another dash upgrade for free of charge called Double Dash. Not Mario Kart, though. This is a really sucky move that allows you to like dash again, and it's a really annoying tech that we're going to be using throughout the next zone. That right there. That's called Double Dash. So the next zone is the Haunted Zone. I dropped one right there. Dropped one right there. It can be really finicky when it wants to work and when it doesn't want to. So we're going to talk to Tangrowth, who's the next attraction leader. This is Tangrowth's Swing Along. Hello. Like, did not take my 2 input. So, the Poke Hero who made the route, as I mentioned earlier, is a god at this. You see the goal and the bonus are like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, but you can do this a lot faster than that. Oh, that was a bad swing. You can do that at like 9 seconds with Pikachu, or like lower. So there's a legendary for every single attraction. This one just happens to be Celebi for some reason. You can do the Celebi IL in like under 4 seconds. It's insane. bad angle. Talk to Drifloon and they'll let us into the haunted house now. So we're the 999th visitor to visit the haunted house, so Duskull is going to be our guide through the house. First stop is the attraction. This will come a little bit later. Dropped another one. This is the library, however, Miss Magius is keeping it closed right now. I dropped a third one right there. What the hell? That should have worked. And lastly, this is the hall, the grand hall, or the ballroom, as I like to call it. So turn around, and then Ghastly will be like, "Hey, come see this room that's never been open." Dropped another one. Dropped the last one too. God. Double dash, again, is just really finicky. You only have like a handful of frames to hit it. So Ghastly's going to go inside the room and he'll open these blue jewel doors. And then we're going to talk to Ghastly. And befriend him. So, I don't know how we're going to use quick attack on a ghost type, but it just seems to work. This one's really fun just because you can do this. Like, literally dash, jump, like as soon as it starts and you can hit him. So come into the side room, and Gengar will be like, "Hey, LOL, blah blah blah, I'm in a painting and I'm in here because I didn't like life outside." And then the bell rings, and now we're gonna go down to the attraction. Drop the double dash. Haunted Zone is just really bad. It just has a lot of hard corners, and it sucks. So this is Dusknoir's Speed Slam. So more angry Wiimote shaking noises. So now we can enter the Grand Hall. Umbreon was just in the way, that was unfortunate. Dropped one. Pichu's like, "Hey, visitor, I've been playing here. Ghost type, don't scare me. Go help Mr. Vis. Hey, Lamo." So, Mischief was like, "We have parties, but our piano's broken, so that's why Miss Magius isn't coming out. So go ask a Pokemon on the other side of the goddamn house to get us some thread. Because we're all ghosts, and we don't have opposable thumbs." Dropped one there. I got that one, but this door is finicky. Umbreon is still in the way. Dropped one there. This is the green jewel door room. Before we find Spinarak, we're going to talk to Abra right here. He'll just become our friend for free. Talk to Spinarak and they'll make some thread for you. This is the longest fetch quest in the game. It's like 2 minutes from right here to the piano. Almost. So, Mr. Just fixes the piano, and then Miss Magius will come out. And open up the red jewel doors for the library. We're also going to friend Mr. Vis. Haunter was kind of in the way there. So now we can go into the library. Drop the double dash there. Dropped one there. So we need to go find a book. I wonder if we could find the book. Oh, it's right there on the other side of the room. This is Sableye who will give us another quiz. It took a second for me to register that question. So, we could talk to Duskull, but he'll just give us random extra text that we don't need, so we can just check the bookcase like already without talking to him, and this will just move on onwards. Find a little hidden passageway. From here I'm not going to use double dashes, just going to turn normally, then go down the stairs. So this is Rotom, and and this is Rotom's Spooky Shoot 'em Up, which is probably one of the hardest ones to play with Pikachu. You need 65 friends to play this attraction. So Ghastlies are 100, Haunters are 300, and Rotom's forms are the 1,000. I need 3 shots on Rotom and Haunter and 2 on Ghastly, which you don't normally need for the one that you play this game with, which is Abra, who does it in 1 and 2. So I have to make sure I'm getting my points in. No, that's really bad. That's really bad. That sucks, dude. That super duper sucks. Damn. This is really hard. It really is hard to not get bodied on this with Pikachu. Okay, we're gonna say screw that Ghastly and get that Hunter and then we're done. That really sucks. That's about like a minute something lost. Probably like 40 seconds, I think, actually, but that's a lot of time to be losing. That's probably the hardest one as Pikachu, in my opinion. So now we're done, we can leave. Get out of this godforsaken zone. So once you get out, Dusk will be like, hey, thanks for finding them, but now go talk to Miss Magius. Blah 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 plot. So normally I would get Electrode if Electrode was good RNG, but since there's no good RNG Electrode, rip, he's all the way over there. I'm gonna get the backup. That was a perfect exit, though. Of course, I don't need that now, but that was a perfect exit with Double Dash. So before we leave, we need to friend 3 more Pokemon. Drifloon, right here. If we hit this tree, on the right side of the doors, we'll get Kakuna. And the tree on the left side will get us Metapod. Normally we would skip Metapod if we had good Electrode RNG, because Electrode has way less text boxes than Metapod does. Dropped one there. Dropped one there. And our last Double Dash, finally. Cheesy ass lines right there for Charmander. Talk to Ponyta for the last time, and we'll get our final dash upgrade for 1,500 berries. And notice we have exactly 45 left over, which is where we want to be, because we're going to need 40 berries for an upcoming attraction. Talk to Skorupi. And be like, I'm not even gonna open it for you. And then some shaking happens. And then people are like, hurry the hell up, Pikachu. And then Skorupi is like, okay, maybe I will open the door for you. So now we can go into the next zone, the Granite Zone. So we're going to go ahead and skip on past all these Pokemon and then just talk to Charizard up there at the top. And then talk to Absol over here, who runs an attraction.
Absol.
This is Absol's Hurdle Bounce.
Absol.
Normally we play this with Ponyta, but Pika Percent. This is kind of hard in Pika Percent because Pikachu jumps like exactly the height you need. Normally you can... I might actually lose this. I had to restart because I hit too many things. If you're lucky and you land on top of those Dugtrios, you can get a little bit of a boost. It's really hard to do though. I have to restart because I was not going to finish in time because I hit too many hurdles. Sometimes it's more of a deficit than anything to hit those. Okay, oh my god, please stop. It's really hard. Sometimes with Pikachu, it's like you hit them by accident. Like you don't even want to hit them. There we go. God, Lord, that was like another minute lost. Oh, okay, Charizard. Get out of the way, dude. Hit the switch, please, to turn the turntable. Go across and hit the switch on the other side, turn back to normal. Shout out to Flygon voice actor though, and Raichu with Flygon. So we need to go find 3 secret words or passwords to open the promise gate. So we're gonna go outside on this rickety boardwalk and find a Blastoise. So now that we have upgraded our dash to max upgrade, it'll do 1.5 damage on its own. So we're like pretty much never going to use Thunderbolt again for the rest of the run. Since this is just faster in frames and it does more damage anyways. So there's a theorized skip with that gate known as password skip. In theory, it is possible to skip it, getting the passwords. You can jump across a place that I will show you in a second here. You actually don't need to talk to Skorupi there either. You can totally skip past him. Nice camera glitch there. Basically, Skorupi just wants you to get across and hit that switch over there anyways. With some platforming. Past there, you can see this is that back there is the other side of the gate. There is a theoretical pixel-perfect, frame-perfect skip that exists where you can jump across there and skip having to open the door. Now, skipping the door in itself would save about 5 minutes. That being said, you have to make up for all the friends that you're skipping. So, in turn, it only saves about 2 minutes, but it would still be a massive time save if found. So this is the last quiz of the game, Porygon Z. So the first secret word is to love. So upon running back, we can talk to Skorupi now, who will just friend us for doing what we wanted him, or what he wanted us to do. Bronzor. Bronzor is blocking you if you don't have at least one password already. So he'll friend us and allow us to move on. That said, though, another Pokemon's going to block us, Electivire, who wants to challenge us for the title of Lightning Strike. Electivire is a pure electric type, so you cannot use Thunderbolt on him due to his ability Motor Drive. Or Lightning Rod, but Motor Drive. That's the better one. But just dodge the swift attack and then knock him out with quick attack. Run up the pyramid and jump into the switch with momentum to turn off the fire spouts. Then we're going to use this really sketchy rope cart to get to the other side right here. Literally like planks just nailed together in the shape of a box held by rope over this seemingly infinite gorge. But once you get to the other side, you can talk to Togekiss, which is the second obstacle hop of the game. If you remember what this is, all the way back from like a little under 2 hours ago. Nice, 91. You can get a 92 there if you go really quick. 93 if you YOLO dash. So Togekiss will give us the secret word of peace, and tells us that the final word is with Snorlax in the cavern zone. So once more, ride the very sketchy rope cart back, hoping we do not plummet to our death, which we do not, and go to the Drifblim stop. So we're going to Drifblim stop to the cavern zone. From here, we're going to talk to Snorlax. However, Mawile, who was being really annoying earlier, will finally say thank you and be our friend, even though we don't need her at all now, because she's annoying. Talk to Snorlax, and you'll just get the secret word free of charge, which is Rainbow. So now we have Love, Peace, and Rainbow. So now we can just Drifblim stop back to the Granite Zone. So now we can talk to Flygon. Opening. So we can cross. Talk to Salamence over here. This is the last checkpoint in the game. You need 80 friends to play Salamance's Air Ace. So we need 12,000 points, which is pretty insane. You can break the targets by running into them, or you can hit the 2 button for your attack. Pikachu will use Electro Ball, or Thunderbolt, but just like flying balls. I think it's Electro Ball, to be honest. This can be kind of difficult if you're not familiar with the patterns. Shit, I really needed that 1,000 points. That's unfortunate. Should be okay, as long as I hit a bunch of these ones. Okay, I got that last 1,000, so we're good. So now we can go on, talk to Jumpluff. Jumpluff will let us move on past the Granite Zone. This is the flower zone, the last zone of the game. Go talk to Shaman, who's over here. I'm realizing now there's one mechanic I have never explained. There's literally no glitches in this game. There's one exploit. When you land and you start going in a different direction than the one that you were going from, after like dashing and then jumping to a stop or whatever, you can do something called momentum swap, where you'll like swap your momentum into a different direction. And you can kind of do that just like on the ground as well. But Shaman said we can't find Mew until we have the mirror, so we don't know what to do, so we're just going to go back to the meeting place and call it a day. Quit this run. So, blah blah blah, flowers, zone, balloon, great, mirror, top of the lighthouse, or top of the treehouse. By the way, this is one of the worst coded treehouses I've ever seen. Just look at that monstrosity. Once we find the mirror at the top, luckily, we don't have to walk it all the way down. It'll just transport us to the bottom of the flower zone. We need to take this up here to the pedestal. So for whatever reason, putting this on the pedestal will make it turn around, and it'll just gather this magic energy and just shoot a beam of light out into space, which will summon the legendary Pokemon Rayquaza. Rayquaza is the zone leader for the flower and granite zones. This is the final attraction of the game, Rayquaza's Balloon Panic. Rayquaza's Balloon Panic with Pikachu is also pretty tough, because you need 30,000 points. So this first section is a slide, just collect the rings. Hitting a Voltorb will lose 100 points, and then hitting an Electrode will lose 300. And you can kind of jump over the Voltors, but jumping over Electrode is really hard to do with Pikachu, so no bueno. So even though we only have 7,000, that's not too big a problem, because the second section is a shooting game, and it is pretty easy to get good at this. Pikachu's is a little bit harder since his box is really small. Yeah, I'm missing a few, but that's alright, because I'll definitely win still. You can definitely get all the targets though. Definitely possible. So now we can go talk to Shaman once more. I did not want to check the Chrysidia flower, please. In order to go to the Sky Pavilion, the Chrysidia flower has to be blooming, so we need to go find that person over here, Blossom, who will give us this wonderful watering can that she found in the beach zone. And for some reason, using this with some just random ass water will make... Don't chuck that on the ground, Pikachu. Check the flower. Will make the Chrysidia flower bloom instantly. That was some abysmal Blossom RNG and some movement, but whatever. So Shaman was changed to Sky form. Shoutouts to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of the Sky. We can see Piplup, Charmander, and Chikorita in the hot air balloon. Charmander is a danger to everyone because he has a frickin' fire on his tail and a wooden basket, and Pikachu knocks him over into the wooden basket, probably setting the entire thing on a blaze, but no. And from here, we are going to the last area of the game, Sky Pavilion. I'm guesstimating about a 2:23:42-ish. Alright, no, excuse me, a 2:23:22-ish. Depending on how this Mew section goes. So, more rumbling, Sky Pavilion's breaking down. So we need to go find Mew right now. So technically Mew kind of plays all of the mini games, or not the mini games, the skill games. This first one is not technically an actual skill game that you play, but it's kind of like the representation of hide and seek. You play, oh my god, falling into the pit. Gonna get like a 2:23:25 now. So Piplup up here says he hasn't found Mew, so we're gonna just call it a day and go home, because we can't find Mew. What the hell was that? I have never had that happen before. We're gonna go back down to the balloon, but somehow Piplup beat us down here. And then Piplup says they've been here the entire time, so we need to go check out that fake Piplup. This is like all the skill games that you play, except hide and seek is swapped with quiz. So, talk to quote-unquote Piplup, and then you'll realize it's Mew Mew Mew. So now we need to play some skill games with Mew to complete the game. So the first up of 3 official skill games is Obstacle Hop. This is the last Obstacle Hop in 90% and is by far the hardest one. sorry about that. People barging into my room. Basically, that was the hardest obstacle hop. You just gotta kind of go through it. Then we get challenged to a bunch of battle skill games, the first of which is Mag Mortar. The strat for this is just mash the hell out of quick attack. The next form mutates is Garchomp, so you can't use Thunderbolt if you wanted to. Not that I want to. We'll use Giga Impact, but you can just kind of buffer it out a little bit. Kind of hit him out of the animation at the end. The last is Mew's favorite, Tyranitar. Which I think you also cannot, you might be able to use Thunderbolt on Tyranitar, I'm not sure. Don't remember, let's test it since it's running steady anyways. Oh, you can totally use Thunderbolt on Tyranitar. I believe Tyranitar is a Steel Dark type, or Steel Ground type of some sort, so... Again, type effectiveness, awkward. The last skill of the game is Chase. I'm going to shut up for this awesome OST here. That's literally all you ever get to hear of that soundtrack. Time is coming up soon. It'll be on the first full black frame after the 4 text boxes. We're re-talking to Mew after this right here, so I'll count you down and I'll let you know. 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Rock Dark, yeah, whatever. On my timer, I got a 2:23:32. This run was kind of mediocre. I failed a lot in terms of skill and gameplay. But that just goes to show the difficulty of Pika percent. It's honestly actually like a real step up from just standard 80%. Absol's Hurdle Bounce and the Spooky Shoot 'em Up are just, they can be really hard sometimes. So, that's that. With an estimate, I'm about a little over 2 minutes behind world record for Pika percent, so, you know, it is what it is. Windows noises. I appreciate everyone for watching, and for those who donated to see Pika percent. That's the first time Pika percent has ever been ran in a marathon, so it was an alright showing. I wish I could have done a little bit better, but no harm done, I guess. Coming up next, we have Brilliant Bob 8% by Gary J. Games, who is a god at Brilliant Bob, so yeah. Thanks for everyone for watching SS4C. Please continue to watch and help support St. Jude's. Whenever the restreamer is ready, you can take me out to intermission.
Great, thank you, Deathline, for that run. We're going to be having Gary set up in